Greetings, folks. It is I, the KQ, Squirrel Mockington, the largest forest creature you have ever seen. Well, that's... actually, I'm much smaller than many deer. Never mind that, actually. I'm a pretty small forest creature, come to think of it. Hello, Wind Chaser. So, hello, we are playing a game that is alternately called Circle of Blood, Broken Sword, and Shadow of the Templars. Now, in spite of this, nobody breaks any swords, nobody circles any blood, and I don't know if we have any... I think we have Templars, but I don't know if they cast shadows, so we may be at like a 1/3 mark maximum? I don't know. Is this a fucking Jurassic Park theme? What is this? Oh, Sanity. Okay. So I make my social media posts, I close down sorted programs in the background, and hello to Theria, hello to Windchaser, hello to all of you out there. Greetings to all of you out there in Videoland. We're gonna start another fucking eternally long adventure game point-and-click series. I hope y'all enjoy this kind of thing, because this is what I do. I solve puzzles and I talk about it on the internet. I don't have much to say today because I am yet again freshly awake. In and out tonight, but you're eager to see how doofy this George guy is. There are some moments. Like... he's not on full blast all the time, but the thing is, George takes himself seriously. The rest of the world does not. Started Gibbous and liked it. What is Gibbous? What is this? Oh yeah, this. I remember seeing this. It's very colorful. I don't know if I want to play it, but it's very colorful. Well, I'd play it. Probably. Okay, you're confused. May I assuage your confusion? May I sausage your confusion? Or may I simply confuse you further? Yeah, have a sausage. What game are we playing tonight exactly? So, we're playing Circle of Blood, which is also known as Shadow of the Templars, which is also known as Broken Sword. It is a regional thing, and for some reason they decided to release the game in the US as Circle of Blood. I don't know why. I do really like the box art, though. Please try to keep the howling and screaming to a minimum out there. But yeah, can I... well, I'll show... okay, you know what? We have like 15 seconds, who cares? Let me pop over here. Bring y'all down. So here's the box art for Circle of Blood. And I really like this art. But it is also Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. Which looks much more serious. Actually looks like everywhere else in the world except the US got that cover. In progressively fucking shitty editions. I can't even begin to pronounce that, but it looks so cool. Anyway. So, Broken Sword Shadow of the Templar starts with a little monologue. And I've got my volume up a little bit, just to make sure that, like, y'all can hear it. If I need to, I'll turn it back down once it's done, but there is a short little monologue. There are no subtitles because it's pre-rendered. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, everybody's aware of this. So, let's see if this actually captures it all. I do test this stuff before I play, I promise you. It's just... it's hard to know sometimes if everything's gonna work. I am fucking huge. Hold on, I'm fucking huge. I need to be less fucking huge. Why am I so fucking... oh my god, I'm fucking huge. There we go. Macro Mark. It's April! I'm huge! Okay. Like I said, this starts with a monologue. I'm just gonna let it go. Pre-rendered opening video. When we get game control, I'll stop and we'll see if we need to adjust the volume. Oh. Alright. Ready?
Paris in the fall, the last months of the year and the end of the millennium. The city holds many memories for me, of cafes, of music, of love, and of death.
Yeah, it's pretty much just the credits right now. We'll be kicking over to some more animation in a moment. Are you ready for clowns?
As I picked myself up, all I could hear was the ceaseless drone of traffic. Life went on around me. But the explosion was to change my life forever.
All right, how are we doing with the volume, folks? Is this good? Has anyone made the obvious circle of life joke? Well, it does move us all. Volume's good? Okay. So here's George Stobart. He is doing a sort of, post-game neo-noir narration here. I'm closer to the camera, George. Yeah, look at that smirk. You can see the smirk? Good. He's doing a sort of post-game neo-noir narration, and the thing is, George is really hard to take seriously. For me, at least.
The table had been overturned by the explosion. I considered straightening the table, but I figured it best not to disturb the evidence. The umbrella had protected me from the bomb blast, but it was of no use to me now.
Ah, yes, George's life was saved by this umbrella.
I contemplated crawling under the umbrella and pretending none of this had ever happened.
Apparently he decided not to. Now, there is... I'm already going to save and show off a cute alternate scene. If we start investigating the crime scene, we can discover some evidence, etc. But if we just walk off down the street, we get a cute little alternate scene.
Freeze! Hold it, right there.
Oh, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
I demand to see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant Moo. I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah, no, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the café, marche.
And we get picked up by the police anyway.
What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur. Stop holding your breath at once.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead, Moo?
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death.
I swear to you, your deaths will
However,
not be in
in
vain.
this case, the man
you
is
moron!
quite dead. Clearly, the killer knew of his presence and...
How many times have I warned you about premature extrapolation? All we know is that he is dead.
It seemed reasonable to assume...
A great detective assumes nothing. Take Maigret, for instance.
But he was a fictitious character, monsieur. Why, he was no more real than Poirot or Tintin.
That's different, Moo. They were comedy Belgians. Anyway, it is unlikely that even you will learn much from talking to the dead. Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can.
And you know, I think I like that scene enough that I'm just gonna leave it there. We don't really learn that much from examining the cafe.
Et maintenant, to business.
Can you die in this game? Yes, you can, and, yeah, I suppose I will. It'll take a while, though. The first chance to die is just long enough to make you irritated that you didn't know to save your game a lot.
Your name, please?
George Stobart. I'm from California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year, no?
Yeah, I guess so, apart from the bomb blasts.
Were you in the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk. I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Did we see the deceased enter the cafe? I'm assuming the deceased is the guy in the gray suit. And if I recall the opening movie, we did in fact see him enter the cafe behind that waitress.
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No. He was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
Yeah, we did see that clown go in.
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon, the picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one.
Accordions are deadly.
Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live. She confirms the American statement. A clown with an accordion, no doubt an elaborate and eccentric disguise.
Very well. Eh bien, I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. I hope this little incident does not spoil the rest of your vacation.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great advice.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
That said, they animated the hell out of this game.
Thanks.
That is all. You may go.
That flip of the trench coat always gets me for
There's
some
not
reason.
much to go on, monsieur.
On the surface, no. But what lurks inside the subconscious? If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Academic? You are about to witness a scientific breakthrough.
Alright, I'm gonna head out. Let's see.
Wrapped around the lamppost was a newspaper.
Expecting a The Shadow reference. That would help. What's this?
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. That was the only news story. The rest was rumor, gossip, and sensationalism. Then I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read Salah ad-Din, 1345.
We've also got...
The girl presented a confident but sullen mask to the world. An expression more suited to the face of a delinquent youth.
someone George can be snarky about.
Excuse me, mademoiselle? Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yeah, that's right, on holiday in Paris. Some holiday, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with an hat and overcoat?
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh no, nothing like that. I am Nicole Collard from La Liberté.
What's that, some kind of nightclub?
No, it is a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Say, you could interview me about the bombing. You know, an eyewitness account. Minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest, that kind of stuff.
I'll just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
Oh God, it's him again.
Indeed, George firmly believes, as many Americans do, that he is the center of the universe. I very much enjoy when the NPCs, don't take him seriously. Let's start by showing our inventory.
Look, the inspector gave me his card.
Also?
You know him?
Oh yes, we've met. Oh, I didn't know his first name was Augustin. It suits him, I must say.
Beautiful.
I found this newspaper outside the cafe.
That is not a newspaper, it's a gossip rag.
There's something written in it. Salah Eddin, 1345.
It sounds like a betting tip. The name of the horse and the time of the race. What do you think?
Do we think that could be it? I mean, it is an unusual name with an unusual number written after it. Let's go along with her hunch.
That's what I thought, but the name of the meeting isn't given.
Well, so what? I'm not the least bit interested in horse racing, are you?
No, but it could be a clue to the killer's next move.
Do you think his next victim will be the jockey? Or the horse?
She looked at me with a playful twinkle in her eye. Okay, it's a long shot.
In a less god-awful adventure game. Yeah, arguably. Alright, let's start digging into the suspects, by which I mean that police inspector.
Rosso didn't blink when I told him about the clown. It's as if he already knew.
That is typical of a cold fish like Rosso. I've seen cheeseburgers with more sperm.
No comment?
Who's the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Planter. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation.
Follow up that line of thought.
How did Plantar get your name?
Through the newspaper La Liberté. I'd written an article linking two unsolved murders. One in Italy, the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costumed killer. Plantal said he could supply me with more information.
And yet the costumed killer got him.
Have you met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Why won't you tell me about this clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number. You help me with my story, and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. À bientôt, monsieur.
Fine, I'll, see you soon.
We didn't get a chance to ask about her, but that's probably for the best, given George. Dialogue is so crisp. Part of that is the audio compression, I think, but yeah. I've always thought this game was remarkably well written. Alright, we remember seeing the clown run off down this alleyway. Let's see if we can figure anything out. Here is, to my mind, this is one of the defining moments of George Stobart's investigations. This right here.
The drain pipe looked as if it would bear my weight. I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drain pipe. I guess the clown had an escape over the rooftops.
Just the immediate contradiction. It's crunch. Oh, well, okay.
The window was protected by stout-looking iron bars. It was a battered old trash can.
Anything in here? No. Yeah, that's the George Stobart way. He says something that you think is going to be incredibly dramatic, and then he's just like, oh.
It was a plastic crate.
What's this?
There was nothing of interest.
Safe. Just a cat. Alright, but there is this manhole.
I tried to lift the cover with my fingers, but couldn't gain any leverage.
Alright, we'll have to come back. A cat is not just. A cat can be just. You can have cat justice. Great little musical motif. It was.
The muscular workman wore a morose expression, like a silent warning to leave him to get on with his job.
The music is, a little overbearing in points, though. Can I... Just a little bit.
Hi, can you spare a few minutes?
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, gah! I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess. Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Huh! Those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Okay. I don't think this guy's gonna help us.
Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me? Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Quel bit. I could have knocked his block off.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantar.
Was? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called him what I did. If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people.
I never know what tone this game is going for, and it strikes me every time I play this. I love it. Well, let's follow up with the clown.
Look, I know you're busy, but surely you'd have noticed a clown.
I told you already. I didn't see a thing.
He was wearing multicolored baggy trousers and makeup.
He'd be a poor sort of clown if he didn't.
Why does that door have a door in it? So you can get the door open.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
Bah! Look at this. Damn bleeding heart liberals. Tcha! Save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this?
I want to know what the hell.
Saladin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is.
Alright, well, it's a racehorse. Good to know.
Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
Don't worry, my eyes won't leave your hole. Anyway, let's steal from him.
I'd found just what I wanted. a tool for lifting manhole covers. It was a
Yep.
metal rod with a handle at one end and a short crosspiece at the other.
Why am I so hell-bent on giving away this newspaper to a random NPC? Because you can steal their stuff while they're distracted. Anyway, let's check out the... What is this door?
Set into the huge gate was a smaller access door.
Let's see if anybody here saw the clown.
The door was securely locked.
Or not. Anyway, now we can open the manhole cover. We can go... We can try Hole. Let's go get Hole. For the record, this part of the game would not have been a problem for anyone because they have a walkthrough up to this point in the manual. So assuming you actually read the manual like a good video games player should...
I lifted the cover to reveal what smelt like the entrance to a sewer.
Really, does it smell like that? Because it probably is, George. Well, here we are, the Parisian sewers.
It was a shiny red plastic ball sat incongruously on the slippery green slimed floor.
He really goes in on that description. Yeah, the Paris catacombs.
As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn. It was the clown's red nose.
My God, this clown is disintegrating as we follow him.
It was a soggy, crumpled paper tissue.
A soggy, crumpled paper tissue in the sewers? We need that.
I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers. It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers.
Alright, no further information there.
It was a small scrap of cloth caught on the rusting spike. I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike.
I love these arches in the background. They look vaguely Escher-esque. Anyway, where does this ladder come out?
Hi there.
Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back. And now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
Ha! You won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
Let's see. Shall we go with a phone, a clown, or thugs? We could be honest, but who would believe us? Let's be honest anyway. George doesn't have the brains to lie.
I was looking for a clown.
Huh, ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that?
He planted a bomb in the cafe and blew it up.
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu! That is awful. And you say the person responsible was dressed as a clown?
That's right. He blew up the cafe, escaped into the sewer, changed his clothes, and came up here.
Ah, mon Dieu! Then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just a tourist.
Haha, most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
The inflection on this man, though. Hello, by the way, to anyone I haven't said hello to. I've noticed a couple of people have filtered in. And, hello. Alright, let's start off with the clown, because...
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
What is there to tell? He was a typical criminal type, just like you.
Okay, well, maybe if we show him some evidence.
Take a look at this false nose.
I've never seen it before in my life.
Okay.
Do you recognize this material?
I am not telling you anything.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone has emptied their nostrils into it.
Well, you know, the nice thing about this game is that you can show, much like Phoenix Wright's attorney badge, you can show your inventory to anyone.
This is what I used to open the manhole cover.
Just as I thought. You were up to no good down those sewers, weren't you?
One slip and I would have been up to my neck. Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you. And I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, Mr.
Alright,
You
we're
know,
undercover cops
I
now.
had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture, your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Let's start over from the beginning and tell it just like it was.
Oh no, we're not George Stobart now. We're Augustine Rousseau.
Did I show you this tissue?
We miss you.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, monsieur. Who is he?
The man who was killed in the cafe. I'm gonna find the guy responsible. I'll find him. Even if it means following him down every sewer in every city in Europe.
Bravo!
That's a lot of sewers, George. You might want to rethink that.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, he was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs? Stolen jewels?
I don't know. But the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, I know her. Quite well, you could say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
You.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an arm lock, his face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron, but he did not know what he was up against. Oh no, he made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture.
Okay, I guess that's all the information we're
Does
getting?
this piece of material mean anything to you?
Ah, that is the same cloth as the jacket I
Ah.
found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Really, do you happen to remember it?
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romani seamstress.
Just
Oh.
my luck.
Okay! That's very helpful, thank you.
Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind.
Can I get anything out of this line of jacket conversation?
What was the name on the label?
Ah, it was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little secret number that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
Well, okay, we have a phone number.
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon. I'll let you out. I
Aha.
hope you find your man, Inspector.
So do
That's
I.
what that door is for. Well, we did technically find something out. Let's borrow this phone. B. Todrick. Before we make any phone calls, let's make a save. Just in case. Didn't I already... Okay, well, I thought I saved earlier, but... Let's try calling, Todrick.
Hello? Who is this?
Hi, my name's George Stobart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you're saying that to make me think you don't know what I mean, but... Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
Alright, what about Blanchard?
Do you know a guy called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Oh, okay.
Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you, I never heard of Plantar.
Did you know that one of your customers was a part-time clown?
If a guy feels happy with a funny nose and custard down his pants, what's the problem?
Yeah, alright. That... Yeah.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
Yeah, I love George just making threatening phone calls here. Hello, Blacktails, by the way. More people need this on their business cards. I agree. I, too, am a part-time clown. On the internet.
Thanks for
Hello.
nothing, Todrick.
Alright, well, let's call up Nico and let her know what we've found, which is kind of nothing, but...
Bonjour, couleur.
Oh, hi. It's George Stobart, the American at the cafe.
Ah, oui.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come right over.
Because of trying to figure out this game as a kid, I have that bonjour, coulard sound clip stuck in my head for the rest of my natural life. I'm hoping that it won't happen to you folks, but you never can be sure. Anyway, we can either go to the police or we can go ahead and go to Rougerie. Quamante. Oh, God. So here we are.
The shop window featured a display of gowns and women's stuff.
Ah, yes, women's stuff. For women. Who are womanly.
It wasn't the style of the clothes in the shop that caught my eye, but the prices. The same amount of money would feed a starving family for the rest of their lives. I guess people who buy that kind of stuff don't have a problem with their consciences.
Thanks, George. Too real.
The woman was doing something with a pair of needles that couldn't be described as knitting. She was a cheery old soul, the kind you'd walk across the street to avoid.
Okay, for one, I think that's crochet. For two, George, what the hell, man? No part of Paris is this deserted. Yeah. And that garbage truck keeps driving back and forth.
They were lilies or tulips. Some kind of flowers, anyhow. Pretty, I guess, if you like that sort of thing. Me? I couldn't see the point of buying something that was already half dead.
Ah, a romantic. Let's chat up the French lady. Crochet only uses one needle. I did not realize that.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good, and it only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to.
I can never tell if he has a point or not. On set, hey, why don't we have our future told anyway?
I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know?
10 francs, please, my dear.
10 francs? That's a ripoff.
Please yourself.
I have no idea how much 10 francs is in American money. I suspect neither does George, really.
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those
Bucks.
white ones.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Well, thanks for telling me.
Other people associate them with lesbianism, so, like, who you gonna believe?
Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me, in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fixed it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
Typical landlord behavior. And just because I really want to run down and show everybody my inventory.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing?
Oh.
What can you tell me about this material?
It's a very expensive piece of cloth, monsieur.
Do you recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tool?
Is it something a dentist would use?
No, it's for raising manhole covers.
Formidable.
Is it something I hope not?
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
Yeah, you've got to be able to make people look at your trash. Otherwise, it's not really a point and click.
The door was shabby and in need of a coat of paint. I couldn't imagine the Collard woman living here. Remembering the
nudge.
flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George.
I've always liked her apartment. Looks like a good place to
Have you?
spend time.
And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers beneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck! Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
I took my photographs to the editor, but he wasn't interested. Can you believe it? He told me to drop this story.
But you're not about to do that.
Oh, no. I am going to find out what's behind these killings. You know what I think? It's a conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone.
Conspiracy of clowns. That also covers just about everyone, really. I, for one, am part of a conspiracy of clowns.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but, well, I had a job to do.
Successful freelance photographer, which I don't know if she is, but she can at least afford camera equipment. That said, those ceilings are nuts.
I found this false nose in the sewer.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
Why don't you put it on, George?
No way am I wearing this. I'd look really stupid. Besides, he might have had a cold.
I'm sure she'll be thrilled to see this.
I found this tissue down the sewer.
Oh, phew, that's disgusting, Georges.
I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use. Or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George, it's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh no?
Take a close look at his left cheek.
A scar. In the shape of
It
a
would help if we
horseshoe.
could see this.
Oh, a crescent moon.
It would certainly help if we could see that photo. I guess it's here? Anyway,
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arno Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it. Millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off.
Was he killed for his money?
No. He had no living relatives, and his fortune went to the orphanage where he'd grown up. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
Reforged does not show it. Reforged is just straight up the contents of the original game. I have some beef with the director's cut. A lot of the changes they made don't sit well with me. Like, I'm sure it's a fine game if you've never experienced it before, but I have some beef.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese green politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium. He was committed to dismantling Japan's automobile industry.
I can't see him gaining much support with a loony policy like that.
Yamada was a man of vision. He was years ahead of his time.
If you say so. How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say, flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
I kind of want to have seen that. Well, maybe not, but...
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown. You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you what, I won't be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance of a big break.
Or a premature death.
He's the guy. Oh no. We'll get to that.
You speak very good English for a French girl.
Thanks. You speak very good English for an American.
I'm going back out to search for that clown.
Where?
Well, I guess I could visit the costume shop.
Good idea.
Yeah, I understand what they were trying to do with the director's cut. Nico is such a big part of the other games that giving her a playable section only makes sense. It's just that I don't think they did it very well. Alright, let's check out the costume shop. I am going to forget all of these names anytime. Oh. See, I wish that any of this was a hotspot that I could look at, because I want to hear George talk about some of this stuff.
The dummy wore a traditional Pierrot costume. At least, I guess it was a dummy. She reminded me of a girl I dated back in high school. Come to think of it, the dummy had more personality.
You think you're funny, George.
I gave the dummy Pierrot a tentative prod, but it didn't move. As I was about to touch the dummy, I realized it had the same color eyes as Nico. The strange thing was, I hadn't realized I'd noticed the color of Nico's eyes. The guy's spoon-shaped face was mournful and humorless. He looked like a vegetarian in a slaughterhouse.
So evocative.
Excuse me?
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave
photograph?
the mundane world behind. But in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible! You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
Look, sometimes we think experiences are universal, and they should be.
Do you recognize this man?
Oui, monsieur. I sold him some grease paint.
Grease paint, huh? Like this?
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that. Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
2 cans. That's a lot. Did you sell it to this guy?
Are you sure this is the man who bought grease paint?
Oui, monsieur. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Where did you go? When did you go to high school? 1812? Yes. Yes, he did. George is old.
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Oh, well.
What does this tool mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
Okay, well, bye.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay. What are you trying to
Single
do,
piano
kill me?
key.
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
And
It was
yes,
an
the
antique phonograph, the kind you have to wind by hand.
phonograph is a hotspot. Morbid. Well, we found out a little more about the case. Let's hop in on Nico again. Alternately, we can start using the electro zapper on people.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. How's your girlfriend?
She's not my girlfriend.
Maybe not yet. But I see your paths entwined in the future.
I doubt it. Would you like to shake my hand?
No, I wouldn't. I can see the future, remember?
Oh, yeah. That's valid.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
Yeah, making a room very detailed can sometimes obscure hotspots. I think that's why the director's cut had that you push a button and it highlights every hotspot in the room. That and it was originally a mobile thing, but also Fleur because she sells flowers. That makes sense.
Salut, Josh. What news?
I've been to the costume shop.
Salut.
Yeah, I like it. What are you supposed to be?
I didn't hire a costume. These are my clothes and you know it.
Did you ask about the clown?
Yeah. He used the name Khan. He hired 2 costumes, the clown and a pixie.
Then we're one jump ahead of him.
How do you make that out?
He probably plans to use the pixie suit next time he kills.
Oh, God, don't let it be me. I don't deserve to die at the hands of a pixie.
Don't be silly, George. That won't happen.
Oh, no?
No, because every time you see a pixie, you're going to run like hell.
It's good advice! It's good advice!
The guy at the novelty shop gave me this.
What is it?
A hand buzzer. You put it in your hand and give people electric shocks.
Why?
It's a gag. A practical joke.
If you ever use it on me, I'll break your arm.
Okay. I get the picture.
I love that line coming on the tail of, Nico is already plenty cool in the chat box. I mean, yeah, she is. She's cool enough to fucking know better. Alright, so we've determined, that Khan is going to dress up as a pixie and kill somebody. I have absolutely no idea.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
Oh, wait a minute, I do have an idea. George, what the hell?
Hello? Who is this?
Mr. Todrick?
Oh, it's you again. What now?
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown. Now we're getting somewhere. Do you know the Hotel Ubu?
The Ubu? Yes, I do.
That's where the clown stayed.
Good work, George.
Alright, well, let's hit the
See you
Hotel Ubu.
Where are you going now?
I could go hang out at the Hotel Ubu.
Watch out for Khan, George.
Don't worry, I will.
Alright, Flair, you redeemed a die for me. We are coming up very steadily on the first place in the game where you can die. Remain alert. To the Hotel Uwu.
What I'm trying to say is maybe you ought to save.
Believe me, I'm aware.
The guy looked just like a weasel. The man looked like an amiable Bigfoot.
Oh, we just had one of those at the end of Siberia.
The sign listed the price of rooms, and boy, were they expensive. The killer must have been earning a fat wad to pay for accommodation like this.
Ah, yes, a fat wad. And also, there's this suspicious, alleyway back here. Ah, yes, the fat wad of killing. Paid for American... Yeah, George is a patent lawyer. That only really comes up every now and then, but George is a patent lawyer. That's why he can afford to be touring Europe. Let's chat with the weasel.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Will you shake my hand?
Are you joking? Who knows where it has been?
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
No.
Believe it or not, I have no, I've only, well, I don't know why I started with believe it or not, because it's really easy to believe. I've only played the first 2 games. I've yet to play 3, 4, and 5. I understand the fandom hates 3 and 4, and that makes me incredibly excited to get to them. I love games that kind of suck.
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No. I never saw him.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Hard labor.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and...
I told you. I don't know it.
Okay. I don't think
Forget
we're
it.
getting much out of this dude.
Excuse
Right,
me?
Yeah?
Actually does her day job and does it well as Laura Bow. And I mean, Laura Bow only gets a job in the second game, and then she never has another game.
Shake my hand.
Nah.
Oh, rats. Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No. I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay then. Nope, I don't.
I love this guy's voice.
Do you happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
I'm sorry to be a burden on your brain. Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hurt.
That figures.
Custard pies, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
Okay, hold on. Adventure game protagonist who does his day job and does it well. Drew Blank from Toonstruck. He had a long, successful career. He just happens to be a little writer's block when we get to him.
You ever meet a guy called Plantow?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's. See you later.
Not if you see me first.
Oh, Nancy. Yeah, Nancy. Well, Nancy Drew doesn't technically have a day job. Manny from Grim Fandango. Temporarily, yes. Indiana Jones is a multiple-time adventure game. That is true.
The figure of a sexless youth was frozen in mid-skip with a silly grin on its stone lips.
Hey, even back at this point, look at George respecting pronouns.
In the ornate booth was the most elegant public telephone I'd ever seen.
Show her the picture. Okay, I can do that.
It was the register of guests staying at the hotel. There was no one registered under the name of Khan. If the killer was staying here, he'd used a different pseudonym.
Let's try just heading on upstairs. I actually didn't expect to get away with that. Second door on the left.
The sign on the door read 22. If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room.
Why not? I expected the dude to stop me and call me over to the desk.
The door was locked.
Alright, we will need a key. Let's work through this logically, like I've never played it before. We'll start with the guy at the desk. Oh.
Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag.
Yoink.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
Hi.
I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Yeah. Hey, you want a handshake?
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I always wonder about that. Like, I think about, all the times they've used, like, there's this one college, I think it's a Jewish college in Canada, and they've used it on Stargate, they've used it on all kinds of, sci-fi shows. It stands in for, like, everything. I've always wondered what that building is actually like.
Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
What do you make of this tool?
Stunning, monsieur. I bet you handle it like a professional.
Why, I do, thank you. Does it moonlight as a quarry in Japan? No, but I do have a website that lists a number of filming locations from Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. In case you ever want to go on a pilgrimage and visit those.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is.
He's remarkably polite about that, and I imagine he hates it.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his left cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
Ah, well.
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
And although we won't get any information, I've got to press him about clown.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Do you know a man named Plantau?
No, monsieur.
Alright.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
So now we can talk to the others.
I
Including
recognize the guy. It was the Nobel Prize winner from the country whose name I couldn't pronounce.
I wonder what you get if you've never looked at the newspaper up to this point. Although I'm not sure if you can do that. No, I think you probably could.
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know a guy called Plantau?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have.
I have no idea what this man won a Nobel Prize for. For all I know, it's for curing death. Who knows?
Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England. Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that.
Good,
You know,
good.
it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
In a cave with a box of scraps.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Good to know. Good to know.
Have you any idea what this tool might be used for?
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me with wonder.
I'm going to imagine that one's sarcasm.
Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
What about the mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Sounds like heaven.
Is that still a mystery that needs solving? No, but it is our version of the Ace Attorney badge.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there. Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Alright, and now for, yes, one of my favorite characters in the
The
game.
woman was obviously English. She had all the qualities of Boadicea, Elizabeth I, and Margaret Thatcher rolled into one. It wasn't a pretty sight.
Ooh.
The woman was she had all...
no.
It wasn't.
Alright.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George. George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George.
Oh, no,
Maybe
not at all.
I can help you.
Please, I wish I had this accent. I wish... Whoever this lady's voice actress is, I don't know who it is, but they were having an absolute blast in the studio.
Would you like to shake my hand, ma'am?
Now, George, there's no need to be so formal. We met as tourists, and I want to keep it that way, despite the enormous social gulf between us.
Can you think of any use for this tool, ma'am?
I can think of someone I'd like to use it on.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
Good God, no!
I just thought the smell might be familiar.
Please, darling, put it away. I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
I don't blame you. We're gonna save the photo for last, as suggested.
Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Good heavens, are you trying to alarm me?
It's true. He uses the name Khan.
I've never heard of the man.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
It's on the tip of your tongue, you say? Well.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
Hazel Ellerby, also known as Nico, huh? Well, she's blasting it out here.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Goodness. Somebody offended her.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Merlin? Well. Maybe he wants to pull a sword from me.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organises fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
Really a grand old dame. Let's do that photo.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
Spurned you? She's in 5? Oh, good. I have something to look forward to.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
Are we gonna beat the shit out of this man? I'm sold. I'm pretty sure she can tank for me.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would. Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh no, it's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts honor?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Alright, she's gonna weaponize her privilege for us. You can see her taking the battle stance.
I say! You there, flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewellery for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
Yoink. And we're off! Bless her. Apparently we will see her again, which is a delight to know.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
Let's have a quick look around.
It was a massive mahogany wardrobe.
Anything in?
There was nothing in the wardrobe apart from a vague, lingering smell of camphor.
Okay.
A cabinet stood beside the bed.
Let's just search the wrong room, you know, because we can.
The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did.
George, I don't know why I would disbelieve you. You're my narrator. Surely you wouldn't
The window
lie.
looked out over a narrow alley surrounded by high walls.
Believe it or not, this is not where we can die.
The cobbles of the alleyway looked very distant and very hard. If I wanted my shins sticking out of my shoulders, I could have jumped. Mama Stobart didn't raise no suicidal fools, though.
Good for you. So, I am going to drop a save here. The alley smelled like Takis. Takis are delicious, though. We're going to drop a save here. And let's check the place out.
The cabinet had no drawers, just a single door. The assassin had been too smart to leave incriminating evidence beside his bed.
Damn smart assassins.
The bed was several times larger than the narrow cot I'd been given at the place I was staying.
Jealous?
The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits. The bed was several... The closet was a solid, impressive piece of antique furniture.
It's a time deal. You're gonna dabble around and get stabbed. I mean, I'm gonna try.
The interior of the closet was large enough for me to climb right in.
Oops. I think there's pants in there. We gotta look at those pants.
The pants were newly laundered and pressed with immaculate creases. There was nothing in the pockets of the pants.
Dang.
The...
What about this side? No? Okay. I vaguely remember there's a way to look under the bed, but I forgot. Oh, wait. Here's a briefcase.
It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died.
No, I misremembered. It's just a briefcase. Yoink.
I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty.
Damn. Well, I guess there's nothing here.
I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
Ah, he automatically gets in there. So, no, I guess we cannot get stabbed here. George looks so old in these, close-ups of him. He looks like he's 50. Oh, hello, Suzaku. I missed you. There.
The pants matched the jacket which the killer had lost in Paris. I couldn't believe my luck when I found 2 items in the pockets of the pants. The first was an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. The second was a pass card which read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Ah, he works for Hans Gruber. It's all coming together now. So, let's just, I guess let's just stroll right out.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
I mean, you'd expect the other guy to be named Jack, but... now the hotel dude should be back. I think. Yeah.
What now, monsieur?
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that.
I actually kind of thought that was how you do it. Let's ask for more help, maybe?
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has 1,000,000 faces. I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George!
And so once more she rides into battle.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
They make such a good team.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
A manuscript.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
Alright, so... can you imagine what happens if we walk outside now? If so, you're doing better than I did the first time I played this game.
Hold it right there. Search him again, Flack.
Is this what you're after, Guido?
See, that's it.
I can explain everything. Well, almost everything.
Too late. You're on your way to feed the fishes.
I'm allergic to fish. I break out in blotches when I eat tuna.
Let's go.
And so we die. And, my saved game fucking vanishes. I hope this autosave works. Yeah, okay. Why is my... that's not good. I don't know why that happens. What the fuck? I don't like that! I don't like that that happened! I don't like that that happened! I don't know why that happened! And I don't like it! Time to retry saving a couple of times and see if I can load. What I'm gonna do is, after the stream is over, I'm gonna keep the game up. I'm gonna save in a couple different slots, and I'm gonna check out the, game directory and see if they vanish or something when I close it. But yeah, I was hoping not to be permadeath. Anyway, the actual solution to this problem this is a Nuzlocke Broken Sword run. You can only solve puzzles with the first item you pick up in every screen.
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
So if you have saved or you are psychic, you will figure out how to do this eventually. But yeah, I don't want to rely on the autosave the whole way through. That is concerning.
Hold it right there.
Search him again. This time we do not have the manuscript on us.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. And now this mysterious empty alley has a purpose.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
Back in Nico's apartment.
You're just not going to believe what I found.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
Dude is disintegrating across France.
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantark?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
Oh yeah, maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades.
So here we have a medieval
This guy,
manuscript.
named Hughes de Payen, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He
I can't turn the volume down.
Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive. But the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found.
You know what I love more than anything else? When a game gives me an important lore dump and plays like a synthesizer over it at 3x volume. Boy, I fucking love that. Anyway, Nico was basically just recapping, like, the Wikipedia entry for the Knights Templar. An organization of knights grew in power, amassed massive wealth, were declared heretics, Inquisition, Jacques de Marnay, etc. If you need more information about the Knights Templar, please look on the internet. Because Nico's certainly not going to tell you.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping. Think about it, Josh. One guy's already died for it, as you said yourself. Besides, that parchment is fragile.
Okay, I'm convinced. You keep hold of it.
Good news, yes? The entire monologue is quoted online. Oh, that's good. But it's okay, because more information on the Knights Templar can be found in popular video game Assassin's Creed.
I found this in the killer's room.
What is it? A credit card?
ID, Thomas Merlin, of the Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Never heard of him or the company.
Better news, okay.
I found this matchbook in the killer's hotel room. It's from the Club Alamut.
Never heard of it. Is there anything written inside it?
No, what were you expecting?
If this was a movie, there'd be a clue. A name or an address. That's no use. There aren't even any matches in it.
Oh well, I'll keep it as a souvenir.
I'll keep it as a souvenir of this murder investigation I'm on. It's groovy! Thanks, George.
Tell me more about yourself.
Oh, there is not much to tell.
Well, how did you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought my first camera. I was 8 and my parents had just split up.
Oof, really?
Did you live with your father?
Yes, my mother went off with her new boyfriend. I don't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Ah, I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really, always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted I should study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
Oh, God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
I think that printing thing doesn't make any sense unless you know that, like, potatoes dipped in ink were one of the first stamping mechanisms. But, I think that's very funny.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Not anymore. There was someone. A guy in my final year. But it didn't work out. Neither did my degree.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Tell me more about your family.
When I was a little girl, I used to spend the winter with my grandfather and grandma. They were the best times, warm and safe in their tiny cottage. My grandfather rolled cigarettes while my grandma made hot chocolate and cakes. One day, he stopped his rolling. He put the lid back on the tobacco jar and took me in his arms. I laughed and wriggled, but he hushed me to be silent. And with his unshaven chin all scratchy in my ear, he told me his secret.
What did he say?
He said, I don't smoke, but she likes to think I do.
What a weird old man.
Don't call my grandfather weird. He was the nicest guy ever. I wish I was back in that cottage, instead of this crummy apartment in this noisy city.
This crummy apartment has the approximate square footage of, like, a house for a family of 4. It's just that most of it is vertical. Like, you could put a second level in here, and it would be fine. Let's actually get back to the point.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Huh. Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Krön Museum. I'll give you the address.
Alright, let's look this thing over. We've got a dude with a crystal, and the crystal is catching a sunbeam.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror.
We're starting with the bottom.
The reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the Wicked Queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall," wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid. Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either.
So yeah, I guess we're starting down here.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
Yeah, we've heard that. We've got a guy with a crystal ball, and there's an angel that says something.
A knight with a crystal ball. There's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
So he actually has some skills, which is cool. And there are skills that are relevant to the case, which is cooler. A weaver next to a boat?
There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover. It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
And we have, like, the cow and the crystal.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod.
George the Half-a-Bull. Alright, let's go out to the museum.
Maybe I'll check out the Kroon Museum.
I'm sure you'll find it useful, George.
It's becoming clear that we literally cannot solve this case without Nico around. If not for her knowledge of local stuff, we would be utterly fucked. What's this?
Through the grimy glass, I could see several large shapes in a gloomy room. What they were, I couldn't imagine.
I don't know why the music just suddenly got louder. Come to that, did it save my adjustments to the music? No, I don't think it did. Oh, no, it is slightly low. Okay. Alright, I made another save. Can I actually load from the save I just made? Can't open file Sordo 1. No. It crashed. So it's not writing saves at all. It's pretending it is, but it's not. Oh. Alright, well, given that fact, I think this is a good place to quit, and I will try to figure that out. I don't know why. I'll try to figure that out until before next weekend, and we'll, I don't know. I'll try to get that solved. Apparently antivirus. Antivirus. That's for the director's cut. This is definitely not... This is almost certainly not what's happening. I'll see if I can fix it, but I don't know if this is what's happening. I'm running the original through Scum VM. Anyway, I'll replay up to where we left off. I'll see if I can get the save to keep. Scum VM thread. Okay, link me that on Discord. Anyway, How we doing on Twitch, folk? I could raid Keldon again, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop off for now. Have a good evening, everybody. I'm happy to have been here. I have been Thais for KQ from Moggington. Thank you for attending. Good night. I really gotta figure this out.